All right, welcome to the best t-shirt I ever printed. And today I'm so happy to have my good friends Brett Bowden and Ryan Moore here to share a story of the best t-shirt they ever printed. So take it away, guys.
Well, I think the best shirt that I've ever printed might be the best printing experience as well. And so it's a combination of our Allmade journey on the very, very first trip to Haiti and in a very hot basement in a very hot print shop in Haiti that we actually printed. I had Brett come along because he's the master printer. He's printed way more shirts than I have. And he printed the very first Allmade fabric just to kind of give it a test. But it was probably the combination of the why we were there to start something special with a bunch of people that we had never met before in a very weird place that you've never expected to be printing in Haiti, along with the results that we got and, what came from that. So I'll have Brett kind of take it from there.
I think it all kind of starts with emotion. So when you think about, maybe the most impactful or the best or whatever that shirt that you printed that you think about when Marshall asked that question, it's like, what I can think back to, like feeling really emotional about something very particular. And it's not that the print we did was amazing. It's not that we used perfect mesh or we're even on a perfect press. To be completely honest, we were on a really not good a press that hadn't been taken care of, and we were in terrible circumstances in the basement of a house in Haiti that, we're not talking about some nice garage in the suburbs, right? And just thinking of how it felt, the air in the room was hot and humid and gross, kind of like Texas, but maybe slightly worse. But the moment that makes it so surreal is that we were starting something that we didn't even realize we were starting. I think it was something that was going to be big in the future, but it wasn't in that moment. And it's taking this piece of fabric and putting it down on the platen, and for the very first time testing the printability of something that we didn't know might become a much, much bigger product.
So it's really the first step on the journey. So like the Wizard of Oz, it's the first step on the yellow brick road was that print.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important that a shirt prints good. And a lot of shirts, I think, out there weren't designed to print good. And so starting, a t-shirt company with screen printers, for screen printers, really, there was no way we were going to even try to make a shirt that didn't print good. And the only way we could know that it printed good once we made the very first samples was to actually print it. So we arranged with a company called Papillon Enterprises. They're in a really cool documentary called Poverty Inc. So Papillon is a living wage provider. They make all sorts of crafts, and screen printing is like their biggest operation down there. And they had I had met them on a trip earlier, and it was literally they were Marshall. Have you ever made a screen with baby like baby oil and white paper?
I gotta tell you, I haven't had that pleasure.
That's how they were making their films. They're literally soaking them in baby oil to make the paper transparent, and then putting it over the screen and exposing it in the sun. So you talk about just a ghetto setup. And so we not only did we go down there to try Allmade and print it, but we also brought them a bunch of real screen printing supplies, including a film output system that we could actually enable them to be more successful as screen printers and sell more shirts to create more jobs. So that was a cool thing too.
That's great. So do you know, are they still operating out of their basement?
Oh yeah. Yep.
But now they have better tools.
They do, yes. And they were so impressed with Brett.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but you might have seen me around.
Are you gonna unlock too? I like how your hair is just gently blowing in the breeze from these fans.
Brett's printability, like they'd never seen somebody print like that before. The way they were printing before was like literally kind of smashing ink through the screen, multiple times to try to get a result.
Right.
I think oftentimes you jump on Facebook or whatever, and people are always telling each other the best way to print. And what they never take into account is like everyone is in a completely different environment. Sometimes it's super cold, sometimes it's super hot or humid or dry or whatever the environment is. Everything you have to do needs to adapt to that environment. And in this situation, we were in an environment where we didn't have any of our typical tools. We're printing on a press that we never printed on before. The platens were all warped and we didn't have normal glue and all these things. And so you take that environment, which was maybe like, it's 100% opposite of a typical testing environment, which if you go to a testing facility at, one of the ink companies, or a very clean, sterile environment, and everything's perfect. And then they print and go, see, the ink is amazing, right? See, the shirt is amazing. And it's like, well, yeah, no print shop is actually like that. So it was really cool to kind of get out in maybe one of the worst possible situations for printing and be able to make something work on that fabric. And I think that was the true test, really, to say that not only is this a great fabric, but it's very smooth, not pilly, it's easy to print, and we can get a nice, smooth, vibrant print on it. But we can do that in maybe one of the worst printing environments of all time.
Right. And it's because if you could do it there, you could do it anywhere.
I would hope so, yeah.
Like Brett said, the experience of the shirt coming off and that magic of the print, the screen lifting up and seeing the print come out and just really kind of running your fingers over it or putting it on for the first time. That's really what makes your favorite shirt, and as a printer, you get to be involved in making that process that one day becomes somebody else's favorite shirt. And for us, like the t-shirts that we've made, there's a lot of favorite shirts that are printed on Allmade out there. And that was the very beginning. So that's kind of why I picked that memory as the most impactful or memorable t-shirt experience.
I think I've helped start a lot of businesses now, and everybody has that most impactful moment. And maybe it's the first dollar bill that they staple to the wall or frame, or, it's the first customer, that monumental moment in these memories that Marshall is bringing up for us. It's just really special. When you go back and think about it, you can think about like how the room smelled, or like you can think about how the room felt, and all these weird, crazy memories come back to mind. Who you're with, who you're standing next to, like the conversations that you had, the things that you were joking about. It's crazy how in the moment like that, when you think about maybe the most important t-shirt you ever printed, how you can remember all these little details, and it's just really special.
Well, hey, I appreciate you guys sharing this fantastic memory on this show. And so thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. You.
Thanks for watching this episode of the best t-shirt I ever printed. For more content like this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.